Critters: A New Binge is a Shudder original series based on the Critters franchise. We got a new film, Critters Attack, which I did a review of yesterday. And after I had watched that, I wanted to go and check this out. I was putting off these for a little while because of some negativity I had been hearing towards them, especially this one, the Shudder series, has been getting lots and lots of hell. So I went into this with low to zero expectations, especially having seen that most people who were to prefer one over the other, it was like 100% a Critters Attack versus, almost no one saying anything positive. Really, the only first person I saw saying anything positive about this show is a guy that I know through my subscribers base and through instant messenger and whatnot, named Jason as well, Jason Brost, who is trying to start his own channel, and he sent me a video of his first attempt at a review, and it was on this very show. And go for it, man. I did it, and my channel sucked at first, and it probably still does. I mean, I definitely get enough messages saying it does here and there, but I get plenty of messages that say the contrary. So thank you to those people who support the channel and keep me going. Now, I went into this, expecting it to be trash. I really did. My expectations, as I said, were almost non-existent. And as I've said in the past, I really, really, really don't mean to go against the grain. It's not my intention. I guess it's just in essence who I am, but not purposely. It's just people seem to dislike things that I like and vice versa. I actually really enjoyed this. Now, I will say this. It is idiotic. It is dumb. It is cheesy as all hell. And I don't think that a lot of people will see the charm in it. They won't see the comedic value in it. They'll look at it and be like, this is cheap, this is stupid, this is this and that. And I can understand the complaint. So anyone who says they don't enjoy this, I get it. Especially since each episode is between 8 and 10 minutes long. It feels like YouTube shorts. It feels like, the Mortal Kombat stuff that they did on the little 8. I don't know how long those episodes were, but it kind of reminds me of something like that. But I just had a really good time with this. I actually thought most of the humor landed for me. And the humor, it's almost a spoof. And the way I was kind of wording it originally when it came to this show was, it's so dumb it's funny, but it's not so dumb that it's annoying. For me, as I said, for a good amount of people, clearly, seeing as how much shit this is getting, it seems to be way too stupid for them, too silly for them. I found a lot to like about it. I really liked the characters. I thought that they were really funny. It actually landed for me. I was laughing a decent amount throughout, and I found myself very surprised by that because I was expecting nothing, and I ended up being like, wow, this is actually ridiculous, and I'm actually having a really fucking fun time with this. As I said, it is almost a spoof, and it does parody of popular film franchises, namely like Terminator 2. There's almost a complete recreation scene from Terminator 2, and plenty of other pop culture references throughout that are being parodied in the show. And I don't know, man. There was a lot of charm to it. It is very much a goofy ass parody of sorts. I don't, because the first couple Critters movies are playful and are almost family friendly, and you could put them up against something maybe like a Gremlins or a Goonies or something like that. That's kind of the age range that I would say it caters to. But I don't feel like the first one was slapsticky or anything like that. And this one just gets way more stupid than, especially the first two films, which is kind of the two entries in the franchise. I guess everyone holds in higher regards than the latter half of the franchise of original movies, because 3 and 4 are not really liked all that much. But I don't know. The humor landed for me. The characters. You got Gilbert Godfrey in here, who I am a big fan of. I've actually seen him live. He's very funny. I thought a lot of his lines were really funny. This is like toilet humor. This is like trashy, lowbrow stuff. And I don't know, man, it's very juvenile. The plot is absolutely absurd, and it's like completely flipped. It's not anything you've seen in this franchise at all, and I commend them for doing that. Like, to take a risk and do something outlandish and ridiculous, and what the story, kind of adds up to and culminates to. It's a total what the fuck. You're watching it and you're like, that's where they're going with this? What? But it's so absurd, it landed for me. So, as I had said, I don't look at this and think, oh, I can recommend this to anybody. Absolutely not. In fact, I know that to not be true. Most of who I've talked to or have I seen reviews from are like garbage, terrible, couldn't get past a few episodes. And I get it, but I liked it. I actually had a good time with it. I'm hoping they'll actually do a second season. For where it leaves off, hell yeah, bring it on. I would love to see how the hell they would continue with where they left that off. I'm just sitting here thinking about what the ending is, how they set it up, and thinking, where the hell would they go from there? This movie is absolutely ridiculous. Or film. That's what it feels like. This should have been a film. I mean, together I think they add up to like almost an hour and a half, maybe like an hour and 10, hour and 20, somewhere in that area. So it should have been a film, but I had fun with it. It's structured like a show, though. I will say that. I don't feel like they broke it up and put it into episodes. Like it leaves off in specific places where you can tell that that's how the episodes were structured, so it was written that way. Plus, for the most part, this is all practical. The critters are all practical. The practicals in this are not as good as Attack. I will say that. Attack definitely has a better production value. This feels cheap. This feels low budget. And there is some really bad green screen stuff going on. There's some bounty hunters, and they're in Australia, and it's bad. It's noticeably bad. And some of the effects work on the bounty hunters before they get their faces looks really bad. So it does have a very cheap quality, and because it is so juvenile and so stupid, I can see it immediately turning off the majority of the people who check it out. But I stuck it out. I watched the whole thing straight in one go. It's not that long, so it's just like watching a movie. And I was pleasantly surprised. I am not surprised people aren't liking it, but I was surprised at how much I did end up enjoying it. I actually prefer it to Attack. And I liked Attack, but I actually did like this one more. I laughed much more. I liked the practicals in Attack more for sure. But there was a charm to this one, a stupid charm to this one. But it's fun. It kind of reminds me of like the two characters kind of remind me of like Superbad a little bit, and some of the humor that they have between each other and the stuff that they say to one another, and his mom, and what all ends up happening with her, and where her story goes towards the end. And especially like that last episode, you are just like, holy shit, they really went for broke on this. They really went out of control with the idea behind the story. So I hope we get a second season. It's probably not going to happen with the reception it's gotten, but one can hope. So is there anyone out there who, besides Jason Brost as well, that actually enjoyed this? I mean, I don't think that this would have worked. The story that they were telling, I don't think would have worked if they would have done like 45-minute episodes or even 30-minute episodes a piece. You know, they could have stretched it out, but it probably got boring. So I actually kind of liked that they kept it like this. Though, as I said, they could have just made this into one movie and that would have made more sense. But anybody else find humor in this? Anybody else laugh? Anybody else have a good time? Anybody else want to see another season to see where that ending goes? Am I alone here? Let me know. I dug it. Adios.